All right, Facebook Live. Welcome. This is the home team. I'm Dr. Serrano, my wife Jessica. And as people come on, I'll just kind of introduce the topic, what we're going to be covering today, and why we're here. So we're here because we care about your families, and we want to help you guys navigate, the spiritual, the mental, and physical challenges that come with raising a family. So we want to give you a little bit of insight into our lives, our background, things, how we kind of navigate things, and not that this is the only way, but this is one way that's worked for us. So we want to share that with you guys. So.
Okay, a little bit of a review, just what we've been talking about. If you're just joining us, this is a 5-step plan towards success in just any avenue of your life. So far we've covered the first one, dream. Here we go. Filling up in that sacred space of your mind, your heart, your body, filling it up with the right things. Number 2, we had measuring the gap. Number 3, which was last week, it was a great one. It was called Dream Again. And today we're going to be talking about a really, I think, life-changing one, which is making a routine.
So with that, like my wife just said, filling the gap. That for me I think for both of us is the most important one. If you're not filling up, how can you ever give? What do you have to give? So second to that is measuring the gap, using the wheel of life, and dream again. We had such a huge response last week. People, patients at the office, people that I saw in the community coming up to us and telling me, "Hey, I'm dreaming again," or commenting, and then I would ask them, "What are you dreaming about?" And they would kind of rattle off what they had sat there and thought about. And I love that because we had people, in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that were dreaming. We had kids that were saying, "Hey, look, I'm dreaming again." And that's what that last episode was about. I believe as adults, we don't dream enough, sometimes ever. So the one thing I want to kind of end up with was, by the way, as you're joining us, if you're on, say hi. If you're liking this, give us some hearts, and definitely share this. Share this so that others can enjoy it as well. But what I didn't finish with last week was when you dream again, then you have to take those dreams and make them into goals, actual goals, actual actionable steps, right? So for us to do that, you might want to take a second and grab your pencil. If you've taken any kind of success classes or seminars before, you've heard the SMART goals. And what SMART goals, what it stands for is the S stands for specific. The goal has to be specific. What does that mean? It has to be something that you can see very specifically, right? The number 2 in SMART is measurable. It has to be something that's measurable. I can't put a goal out there of, let's say, I want to lose weight. That's not very specific. It's not very measurable. But if it's, I want to lose 10 pounds, now that's more specific. It's measurable. I can measure those 10 pounds. The next thing that you want to do is the next 2 is A for achievable and R for realistic. Now, I have trouble with those 2, and we go back and forth on this because sometimes we get so achievable or so realistic that we really kind of take God out of it, right? And if it's not a big enough goal that God doesn't need to intervene, then I would argue that it's probably not the goal that you should be going after. Like, it has to be something that's big enough, that's going to challenge you, that's going to move you out of your comfort zone, but at the same time, you can't really achieve it on your own. Because, anything with that?
No, I think that's a huge one, and I've been teaching this to some of the kids in my class at school, and really having them stretch themselves just that amount where they can't take credit for all of it, but some things are going to need to change in their life or switch for them to be able to accomplish those goals. So,
and the last one is T. At a SMART, T is timely. There has to be a time frame. If it's losing 10 pounds, it has to be by a specific day. So I want to lose 10 pounds by whatever, April 5th. I don't know what it is for you guys, but that's SMART goals. That's last week. So dream again, get those dreams, make them into SMART goals, and now this week is where it gets good, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you take your goals or dreams and you actually make them actionable. That's why it's called creating the habit. There's no goal. There's nothing out there that you can do that doesn't require a habit behind it. If you really want to succeed in any area of life, you have to have that habit behind it. So
There's this awesome John Maxwell quote that I read after we taught this the last time, and it says, you will never change your life until you change something in your daily routine. There has to be something on a daily basis that you switch out if you want to have success in any part of your life. So we'll be talking about that daily routine today, a daily action step habit.
I want to talk about the running story that nobody really knows where it comes from.
I'm going to claim this story as my own, even though the last time we taught this, Raul said that this actually happened to him.
Let me tell you the backstory. You'll know. I said, hey, it might have been her, but I think it was really me because I recognize like it was real. And I just want proof. We journal a lot, and she says it's in the journal. I haven't seen proof yet, but I'm going to let her tell the story.
So here's my story that I'm taking 100% credit for. So what happened a couple years back, I guess it was 4 years because I think I was pregnant at the time. I was doing a morning jog, and I kind of went outside of our neighborhood and went around the West Chase area, and it was kind of interesting because it was still dark outside, a couple street lights. And as I was running through this neighborhood, I got to the back, and there's this separate neighborhood. It's like a gated neighborhood, beautiful, like estate homes on this lake, kind of like your dream house scenario. So all of a sudden I noticed this very extreme, like drastic change happened. I would be running, and no longer was it so dark, but everybody's lights were on. So I would see like bedroom lights on, I would see downstairs lights, and I don't know what time this was, maybe 6 a.m. or so. And I was like, wait a second, like all the cars are still in the driveway. It's not that these people are off to work, but they must be doing something in their homes to prepare for their day. And it was, literally, as soon as you enter that gated neighborhood, I saw that switch. There was something about starting off their day that was drastically different from like the common culture or the common area. So what I always talk about is, as I'm reading and as Raul's reading like a lot of biographies, when you look at really successful people, maybe it's a great business owner or just like that joyful mom or, the awesome teacher or the great PTA mom, whatever it might be, it's that they're really normal people. But what I found that's abnormal is their routines. There's something that they do that is just really unique. Sometimes it's just off the wall, some of these daily routines and things that they've incorporated that, help them be successful. So really normal people with abnormal habits.
Yeah, and that's like, and we were just talking about this past weekend. Like that's where my heart is right now. It's with the routines, the habits. It's really the disciplines of the mind. Because when you look at people and you define success however you want to define success, but when you look at somebody that you think is successful, that you admire, what you don't see is all of the years of hard work, all of the habits, the routines that they have set up in their lives to get to that point, right? You don't see, this past summer we got to go see the wrestlers, and we were supporting the USA wrestling team at the Olympics in Rio. And what you don't see is the thousands upon thousands of times they've done the same move, the same routine. Literally, we're there sitting on the mat before they're going out to wrestle that afternoon, that evening, and they're doing the same basic moves they did probably when they were in middle school or elementary school. They're still doing the same basic move. It wasn't like they had like the finishing move or something crazy. It was a single, they were there with the coach and they were just practicing the same move over and over. And the coach would like tweak like a little bit of just move this foot out like 10 degrees or 5 degrees. And it's all those routines and those habits that made them successful, that got them to the point where they can get the gold, right? As a mom, Jessica has mentioned, you see these joyful, successful moms. How do they do that? Well, they're probably not getting up, frazzled, running all over the place. They're probably getting up early sometimes. But I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but more than likely, they're getting up, they're filling themselves up, they're getting ready for their day so that they can have that joy to give to others, to their kids and others in the community. So it's those habits that really are going to create the life that you want. So guys, if you're loving this, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up, share it with other people. This is what helps, the thumbs up, the hearts, that's what helps spread this message out there. So creating the habit.
I guess I'll go ahead and share some examples that we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is kind of coincidental, but I'm part of the If Gathering group. It's like an online community of women, and we're studying different books of the Bible and such. So what we're studying right now is so cool. It's called Spiritual Disciplines. And it just talks about like we have these lives and, you know, Instagram, the highlight reels, and there's something that's happening in the background. So, you know, even with our spiritual walk, we have these big event moments. But what really, you know, strengthens us spiritually is those behind the scenes spiritual disciplines. Like, you don't see people walking around talking about their, you know, how they did the Sabbath or how they fasted or their daily prayer routine, their daily solitude, their daily meditation. It's like those things that grow you spiritually, and those are the avenues that you connect with Christ, rather than sometimes the big conferences and, you know, the Sunday mornings and stuff like that. So that's something I've been implementing in my daily life, is some of those quieter spiritual routines, because spiritual was really one of my goals that I had focused on last year. The second one is having those same daily routines or establishing habits for your family and for your kids. So one of the things I've been doing with our oldest, Adriana, is one of our goals was just to have some really good quality bonding time. When you have 3 kids, that can be hard. And I know you've scheduled out some time with the kids, but for me, you know, the day can pass you by and you realize you haven't spent that one-on-one time. So one of the things we've been doing that has been awesome is we read together at night. I know it sounds really simple, but at 9 years old, we're continuing that habit of laying in bed, snuggling up, and reading a book together. We're on almost the last book. We're on the Silver Chair of the Chronicles of Narnia, and it has been awesome. I don't know who's more excited about that time, if it's me or if it's her, but just having something to chat about during the week. We're sharing a book. We're sharing spiritual conversations.
And then you get to watch the movie together after.
Yeah, we celebrate with watching the movie, but now she has not only this love of reading, but this love of just quality time together with a common purpose. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned, like, for us, my big goal going into this quarter was just that. It's like I wanted to create more quality time with each individual family member. So one of the things that I did to create that quality time with each family member is that I specifically have certain hours within the week that I will come home and I take that one child out, just them and I, you know, for an hour, even if it's just an hour, just to have that quality time to just, you know, today we threw the ball and don't tell everybody, but I sat her on my lap and she drove around for the first time in our neighborhood.
She told me she drove today during
She drove today, so, I mean, it's all of these different things that we get to put into play, and it's just those times, those one-on-one times. That's just our habits that we're creating. It could be anything. So whatever you dreamed about last week, we just encourage you to take that dream, make it a goal, and if you really want that dream to become a reality, you have to create the habit, whatever that habit is for you. For us, we're big into our family. This is a season where we want to sow seeds into our family. So everything we're doing right now is how we're going to create those quality moments, those quality time with our family. So that's where we're at right now.
One more thing. I know
good.
So we kind of talked about some easy things. Like I love reading a book with my daughter. So those are easy. But the things that aren't so easy, like for example, 5:45 this morning when we woke up and we worked out, hate it. I still hate it. He still hates it. The first thing we say when we wake up is, we hate this. We don't want to do this. And I think of all the ways of the reasons why I should go back to bed. But it's some of those habits and those daily routines that I think are the hardest. You know, those are the times where we have to separate ourselves emotionally from the experience and know that it's a routine and it's a discipline that over time we're going to like how we feel when we do it.
Yeah.
More, we're going to hate how we feel when we don't do it.
And two things with that. I have one of my mentors that I listen to and I listen to a lot and talk to him. One of the things he says is like working out and doing those kind of things, it's really not a physical thing. It's more of the mental discipline that goes along with that. Because how you do those things really starts to infiltrate how you do all these other different routines in your life, right? If we start skipping, and we've done in the past, we're not perfect. We skip our morning workouts, believe me. But when we start skipping the morning workouts, guess what we start skipping? Hey, we're not really doing the reading at night with our daughters, or spending the time, oh, you know, we only did 30 minutes on our one-on-one instead of the full hour. We start cutting out the corners. The other thing I wanted to say, and we'll close this out with this, is when you're creating the habits, remember that your feelings are fleeting. They come and go. Your emotions will always set you down the path of easiest resistance, right? And that's when you have to separate the emotions from your goal or what you want to achieve. Because if we let our bodies go by emotions, we're always going to take the easier route, and the easier route never gets you to where you truly want to be in life, spiritually,
Susan nailed
physically.
It. She said maximize mind.
Oh,
So
that's
good.
awesome.
That is
Well,
awesome.
thank you guys for joining us. About 15 minutes, and we say
So
we're going
give
to
them
keep
an
this.
Hold on, real action step.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys have your dream written down from last week. Clarify it using the SMART goals like Raul talked about. And then, of course, today, just write one thing down that you could do on a daily basis that's going to help you reach that goal. And then next time
is the best one. It's our war plan. War plan is where we take all the habits, maybe it's just one habit that you're going to choose today, but next time we're going to put it in and show you how do you plan this out. We'll go through some meal planning, we'll go through some different things and how to get the war plan in place to have that success. Cool thing, this weekend, we're not just talking about this stuff, it's our anniversary, 6 years, woohoo! And
lots happened in 6 years.
Yes, we're gonna take this weekend, we're going out of town for a few days, and we're gonna go through the 5 steps. Number 1, we're going to fill up. Number 2, we're going to measure the gap. Where are we after this first quarter of this year? We're going to dream again. Every quarter, we want to dream. And then we're going to create some habits. And on Monday, we're going to put the war plan together with you guys. Thank you. Hey, I see some love this. Needed this message. Awesome, Katie. Jessica Tinsley, thank you. You guys give us some thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give us some hearts. Share this, so that we can spread this message and really inspire people and just help people walk this journey together. So thank you guys. I always see the likes coming in, the hearts, and we'll see you next Monday, 2 o'clock, and we'll be talking about the war plan. Thank you guys.
See ya.